Here we are with lesson 6, solving for supplements and complements. You'll be able to write and solve equations that represent the measurements of supplementary and complementary angles. It gets a little interesting in this one. We'll be taking word problems and translating those words into equations to solve, dealing with complementary and complements and supplements. So first we look at a few keywords that will help us decide on addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So we'll go ahead and fill out this chart here. Decreased is associated with subtraction. If you take a number and decrease it by some other number, you're going to be subtracting. Ratio is an interesting one. Ratio is a fraction. Is a fraction, so that's dealing with division. Fraction bar means division, so if you see the ratio of something, it means you got something divided by something. More, what do you think about more? 5 more than something means you're adding. Twice is a good one. Twice means 2 times. That's multiplication. Difference, subtraction. The difference in our ages, we would subtract them. Sum is the proper name for addition in mathematics. If you have a sum, you're adding something. This is a weird one. Out of. Like 4 out of 5. That's like a ratio, and that deals with division. Triple, similar to twice, but 3 times. You can even put 3 times in that chart if you want. Double is like twice, 2 times. If you double something, you're multiplying it times 2. Product is the proper name for 2 things that are multiplying. If you have a product, you're multiplying things. Increased, addition. If I take my age and increase it by 5 years, I'll be 61. Quotient means division. You're dividing 2 things. Total is a weird one, but we'll consider a total meaning addition. Totals could actually have subtraction in them, and everything, but for right now, if you're going to total something up, you're going to add it up. And less. If I take 5 less than my age, I'll be 50 again. So those are the keywords we're looking for in these, some of the keywords we're looking for in these word problems. We'll look at the most difficult one coming up, but increased addition. Most of you know these. If you need to refer back to your chart for double, triple, or any of these, go right back. Here's a little practice dealing with these words. So this first one, when I see this first key part, 3 less than something, means I'm subtracting 3 from something. So it's not 3 minus something, it's taking 3 away from something. From what? A number. Well, we don't know what the number is, so when we don't know what it is in mathematics, we give it a variable. So they put that phrase there, some number. Okay, that's going to be my x or y or whatever variable you want to use. The next one, 7 more than something. Okay, that means I'm adding 7 to something, and I usually put it on this side too. What am I adding it to? Let's see. First, a product. Product means times. So next, it's going to tell me what I'm multiplying. What is this product? It's a number, x, and 6. So 6 times x, or 6x. So there's 7 more than the product of 6 and x. Next one, sum. is my first keyword. The sum of something. That means addition. So the first thing I do, I'm going to put an addition sign on my paper. What am I adding? The first thing is 11. And the second thing is triple a number. So I know the number is x. Since I don't know what it is, okay, I'm going to give it the variable x. Triple means 3 times that. So 3 times x, which is 3x. So it's just dissecting it, looking for these key phrases and terms to help us write these variable expressions. Double. Double means 2 times. What are we taking 2 times? Some number. We don't know what it is. So our first part is 2 times x, or 2x. Decreased by. Decreased means you're subtracting. Decreased by what? 13. So just take your time, underline when you need to, put the x there. Go ahead and try the quick check. Maybe pause this video, see if you can do those two right. We'll check them in a second. Alrighty, so what do we got? Our first keyword is difference. Do you remember what that means? That is subtraction. The difference of what? This next part. Twice a number. So you don't know what the number is. It's going to be x. Twice means 2 times. So 2 times x is 2x. So the difference of twice a number, 2x, and what's the other thing? 14. There we go. Then what do we have? The quotient. Quotient means division. So in this one, I like using the fraction bar instead of the division. So here's my quotient. I got a top and a bottom. So the first thing they say after the quotient goes on top. The quotient of a number. So that first thing, I don't know what the number is. I'll call it x. That goes on top. And 8. So 8 is on the bottom. Increased by. Increasing it, adding. Increased it by 15. That's it. Take your time and read them carefully. Underline when you need to. Look back at your chart if you have some of the things. So, complementary and supplementary. We've seen this terms before. Complementary are 2 angles that have a sum of 90. Supplementary, they have a sum or add up to 180. We saw these lame little examples before. 2 angles add up to 90. There, the A and B would be complementary there. In this case, A and B add up to 180, so they would be supplementary. Now let's look at some special stuff. If you don't understand this, let me know. Call me over. But we're going to look at complementary over here on this left side. We know it's 2 angles that add up to 90. Okay, I'm going to show you how to define for these word problems. Okay, so if I knew, if x plus y equals 90, and I solve for x here. In other words, I get rid of, or actually I'm solving for y here. I get rid of the x from both sides. Then y would equal what? 90 minus x. Okay. So let's see, what does that got to do with anything? Well, in our word problems, when we're missing an angle, we got 2 complementary angles, we're going to let one of them equal x, and then its complement, which would be y in this picture, but we've solved it for x, will be 90 minus x. So when they give us a word problem dealing with complement, the angle would be x. Its complement, when we see that, we're going to substitute that phrase with this, 90 minus x. Okay? We'll see how that works in a minute. Also, we'll be dealing with supplements, a supplementary angle. So we do the same thing here. We start off, two supplementary angles are x and y. X plus y equals 180. If we solve it for y here and get y in terms of x, because all we want in these equations are x. That's why the angle in this one would be x. Its complement would be 90 minus x. We'll just have x's in the equation when we do that. So this one we can see if x is the angle, its complement in turn, is normally y, but in terms of x, it's 180 degrees minus whatever x is. Its supplement, I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong terms. So if the angle is x, its supplement, if we see that word in a word problem, we're going to substitute 180 minus x for supplement. So let's see how that works. There's your angles. There's what we're going to substitute. So we start off with this problem. Find the measure of an angle if its measure is 78 less than its complement. So let's write our equation. If this angle's measure, so what do we put for angle? X. We don't know what it is. Is means equals 78 less than something. So that means I'm subtracting 78 from something. From what? Its complement. All right, so we saw just a minute. In terms of x, its complement would be 90 minus x. Okay, that's what we were talking about on that last page. When we see its complement, we're going to take 90 minus whatever that angle is we're looking for. That would be its complement. So now we have the equation right there. Oops, didn't want that one yet. Hide it again. Now we can let's go ahead and solve our equation. We're going to let x equal the angle. Remember again, now we have its complement would be 90 minus x in this equation. So we got x equals 90 minus x. It's 78 less than its complement there. We'll combine like terms. The 90 and the minus 78 make 12. So we have negative x plus 12 equals this x over here. We got x's on both sides, so I'm going to get rid of that negative x with plus x. So now x plus x is 2x equals 12, divide by 2, and we get x equals 6. So the measure of the angle is x. That's let x equal this angle we're looking for, so this equals 6. Now they didn't ask you for its complement or anything, so just keep this hidden here. We don't need it. Well, we could look at it and just see if it, you could substitute these things back in there and see if they come out equal, but they will. Babbling a little bit there. Let's try another one. Find the measure of an angle. We're going to let x equal the angle. If it's supplement, okay, so we start here. We're going to find the measure of this angle, but it's supplement. What do we write for its supplement? Go back to the other page. It's supplement. If x is the angle, then its supplement in terms of x would be 180 minus x. Supplementaries add up to 180, so if we take this angle and subtract it from way, we get its supplement, the other angle. Is means equals. Triple means what? 3 times. So here's 3 times something. What? Triple that of its complement. So let's see its complement. If S is the angle, the complement is 90 minus x. So this is it again. Its supplement, which we write 180 minus x, is triple 3 times something. 3 times what? Its complement, which is 90 minus x. So here we have to use the distributive property first and multiply the 3 times the 90 and then the 3 times the minus x. So on this side we get 270 minus 3x. Now I don't want x's on both sides, so I get rid of the 3x, the minus 3x over here with plus 3x. So -1 plus 3x's make, what, 2x's over here? So we have 180 plus 2x. Those go away. We got the 270 there. Now we'll get x term by itself here. Get rid of that 180 with minus 180. And we get 2x equals 90. Divide by 2. I forgot to show that step. Divide both sides by 2. And we get 45. You can put it in your notes. So x equals 45. Find the measure of the angle. The angle is x, so it is 45 degrees. Should get the hang of this after a little while. Let's see. So find the measure of an angle. All right, what are we going to let the angle be? We're going to let it be x. If the measure of its complement, so if the angle is x, then its complement would be what? 90 minus x. Is equals 48 more than something. So I'm going to add 48 to something. So I'll put it there. To what? Twice something. Twice means 2 times. 2 times what? The measure of the angle, x. So that's it, little piece at a time. Remembering our special thing, complement, 90 minus x. Supplement, when we see it, 180 minus the angle itself, x. So let's see, we got this. I just put 2x for 2 times x there. Got x's on both sides. I'm going to get rid of that minus x with plus x. So 2x's plus 1 more makes 3. Got rid of them over here. Now we'll get rid of that plus 48. That's minus 48. Get the 3x term by itself. And do our last step and show the work this time. Divide by 3. And we get the angle x equals 14 degrees. Okay? Pause it whenever you need to, if I go too fast. Example 3. You can pause it, try it by yourself before I do it, see if you get it right. See if you set that equation up correctly first, and then maybe check mine. All right, find the measure of an angle. Let's let that angle be x. If its measure, so whose measure? The angle. If its measure, which means the angle, which is x, is equal to 81 more than something. 81 more means I'm adding 81. And then what do we got? Twice, which means 2 times. I got 2 times something, what? 2 times its supplement. Supplement, the angle's x, its supplement would be 180 minus x. So there's a good one. We'll use that distributive property first. Take 2 times the 180 and 2 times the minus x. It looks like that. We'll combine the 360 with the 81 and get 441. I'll go ahead and get rid of these minus 2x's. We got x on both sides with plus 2x. So x plus 2x is 3x over here. My x's go away there. 441. Divide by 3. And we get 147. Let me know if I messed up anything there. Looking good. So the angle we're looking for, x, is 147 degrees. Got a few of these to do. I'll go through them a little fast. You pause whenever you need to. Find the measure of an angle. We're going to let that x equal that angle. If its measure, so x, is equals 60 more than something. So we're adding 60 to something. Adding it to what? Its supplement. If x is the angle, its supplement would be 180 minus x. So there's 60 more than its supplement. Alrighty, so I'll combine the 180 and 60, makes 240. I'll go ahead and get rid of this minus x with plus x. So x plus x is 2x equals the 240. divide by 2, and we have x equals the angle we're looking for is 120. That's it. All right. Give that practice a try. Let me know if you need a little help or if you didn't understand any of these examples. Good luck.